when you started tilting at Harry, I was like, oh God, this is it, isn't it?
What? When did I tilt at Harry?
With the garbage.
Yeah.
Like, just put it back in the thing, and I was like, oh God. Oh no.
It's happening.
Where's Steven?
We're going
Where's that
back.
head?
What year is it?
Everybody's asshole just tightens up.
We were all there for that. That's the last time all of us were on camera at the same time.
I hate everything.
You really like figured out how to channel like that Ryan Adamson like serious energy like really well.
What?
Remember like serious Ryan energy?
Yeah.
Yeah. But you just do it on command.
Yeah, I try not to do that on the podcast because that fucks with the vibes. And like, as I've said before, America's main export at this point in time is vibes. And I'm trying to have as many good vibes as I can.
You know, that sounds pretty, that sounds like you're sort of appropriating it because what we
I'm appropriating vibes?
Yeah, because realistically, it's just black culture. We let everyone else have it so we can just like look down on them here. That's kind of how it ends up working out.
Nah, we love black culture. We got Jack Harlow. Welcome to Real to Real show. Welcome to Real to Real. Returning guest Vasilios is here, and another friend of the show, Harry. What's up?
Yo,
How
what's
you
up,
doing?
guys? Doing pretty good.
I have a pickup line for
We're
this
back
movie.
in the space, and Bill is also here.
Yeah, you're gonna hear the cat. But I have another pickup line. Are you ready?
I've been
You've
waiting
been
for
waiting
this
for this
all
for
week.
a week. Okay. So if this movie was like a beautiful woman in a bar, right? And I saw her across the bar, I would walk up to her and be like, "Hey baby, are you dairy? I'm lactose intolerant, and you got me all gassed up."
Jeez.
Oh man. Oh god, I'm
Why?
so.
I get it because there's driving in it.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. What do we watch this week, Jesse?
This week we watched Logan, a movie that I had super hyped.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to cut you off real quick. Everybody that fucking told me that this was a great movie and it was like one of the best superhero movies of all time, go fuck yourself. Actually go play in traffic. You absolute
right.
fucking troglodytes. The most mid movie that I have ever seen. It was just fine. It wasn't offensively bad like Luck of the Irish. It wasn't incredible like Boondock Saints. It was. This is a 5. This is. I'm just gonna do the ratings now. This was a 5. You all fucking lied to me.
Yeah, I need to retroactively change my Boondock Saints rating to a 7 because,
This
5.
movie watches like Mio stained teeth.
Mio stains teeth?
Yeah, if you drink enough red Mio, it'll definitely just fucking stain your teeth.
Gross.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was fine. I had it at like a 6 or a 7, but it's mostly because of the
We
stuff
saved the ratings for the end, Harry. That's
Oh
the
my
whole bit right
This
now.
is how I lied. It's
he
not,
wouldn't know,
he's not
though.
even
I
a
don't
fucking
watch
friend
the
of the
show.
show.
I
He's not
know.
a friend of the show.
He's a friend of us who doesn't support us, actually. He just, like, is filling in for Nikhil.
Okay, but like part of the issue that I have with watching or listening to you guys is that I will be listening in the background and think I'm on a call with you, and then when you say something, I'm like, "No, that's fucking stupid." Blah 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 blah, and like nobody responds.
And then you start yelling in your car because no one's responding to you. You're like,
Like,
guys, I'm just saying. Oh, wait.
And that is why, listen, that is why podcasting has become the most popular form of entertainment through the pandemic. It is simply because it gives you a voice to yell at when you are so lonely trapped inside of your fucking house.
like how I felt watching this movie.
This movie is isolating.
Yeah.
This movie alienates me in ways that I didn't know was possible.
I don't know about all that.
No, it 100% isolated me. I wanted to stay home, curl up in a ball, and just like stay under my comforter and just like sweat it out.
Sweat what out?
All of it. Just all of it.
Okay, so to recap the movie, it starts off, I guess, it does, hold on. I didn't watch any of the X-Men movies. Is this supposed to be in the continuity?
You haven't watched any of
No.
the X-Men.
So
Bro.
I believe that this takes place after
everything, it's implied that they all
so
died.
it's supposed to happen in like the old man Logan
Logan.
Yeah.
universe, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
But
You're the
not
resident comic book guy.
That's actually why we had you on.
Oh, okay. So you do need my notes now.
Well, I mean,
You should
just
just know this.
Listen,
No, I
listen,
should.
Like,
if you
you-
reach
but-
for the notes right now, if you reach for them, I swear. I swear.
man's brought a laptop.
Yeah, I tried to be
He
prepared.
cares.
Like,
he cares
yeah.
more about this show than we do, and he doesn't fucking listen.
Dude, I listened to the last one I listened to was actually with Vasilios. So.
Oh,
like,
yeah?
Yeah. That was
The Boondock Saints one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I listened
that
to
was a
about
good
30
one.
minutes of it.
That was a good.
nice.
That was a good episode. Anyways,
But,
yeah, go on.
So I don't know if you guys want me to go through the whole timeline, but that
Not the whole thing, just
okay.
like
So
Just
what's needed.
context as to why there's 2 left.
two.
it's
Two
just
missions.
him and Charles, and
Oh
then
yeah.
the
So
Nosferatu
technically.
looking dude.
Yeah.
basically,
Shout outs to the homie Nosferatu.
there was a Flashpoint event. I guess is the best way to describe it, where Days of Future Past, Logan's mind goes into the past, changes a few things of history. So now everyone that died in the third movie, which if you guys haven't seen, a lot of people died in the third movie, they're all back. And then we are led to believe that hopefully there'd be something with them in the future, like Jean Grey's back. She wasn't the Dark Phoenix yet, all that other stuff. But then with this movie, it's just the two of them because like a year prior to the start of the movie, something happens and they're gone.
So that's not in another movie.
That's not in another movie, and it's
Oh,
actually
okay.
explained in this movie, like because
They went to the Statue of Liberty, and then nothing.
Was that the seizure that they were referencing?
yeah, that was
Okay.
that seizure event where they were like, this was similar to the event that happened a year ago, where like 600 people
So,
were
like,
hurt and
Charles
7 people
Gets
died.
the jitters.
Yes.
Because he like forgot to drink coffee that morning.
No, he drank too much.
Yeah. Okay.
No,
Yeah,
he
yeah.
was just withdrawing from like alcohol. Like he's a heavy
Yeah,
drinker,
yeah,
and
yeah.
he just started seizing.
So like the withdrawal happened, and then everybody was like, "Damn, that's scary," and just died.
Yeah.
600 people got so fucking scared of Patrick Stewart going through alcohol withdrawal that they're just like, "Oh God," and then just fucking drop dead.
No, 600 were injured, but like I think it was like 30 or something died. 7 of them were,
And they were
I-
all
listen,
mutants.
No, well,
I'm
I
sure
think
a
So
lot of
only
se-
the people with superpowers, like when you have superpowers, it makes the psychosis that much more effective.
But like, what's his name? Logan was able to like tolerate.
Well, that's
just
because
fine.
he's made of adamantium.
well, also his healing factor, like
Oh well, yeah,
saves his
that's
mind a little
probably
bit, yeah.
that's probably more.
Yeah.
It.
No, you know what happened? Charles Xavier just had like that dad energy of like, I swear to God, I'll turn this car around, and this was the one time that he turned the car around. He's just like, I've had to deal with you
He thought the
assholes for
car?
60 years.
He thought the car was time, and he tried to turn it, and it did not work out.
Oh my God.
I will say, Last of Us did the dynamic better than this movie did by quite a mile.
Have not seen Last of
Same.
Us.
I haven't played the game, so I felt like even if I watched the show, I
You said
just wouldn't
Last of
get
Us,
it.
and I thought that you were talking about This Is Us, and I was about to. I was straight up just gonna leave. I was gonna like just leave the camera here and go home.
What are you talking about? This is your favorite show, man.
No, please stop.
You watched it 3 times. I know you.
Please stop.
You wouldn't shut up about it, man. It was
Oh,
such
God.
a good show.
Okay, so to go now that we have that context, this movie features what the fuck?
Hugh
was-
Jackman.
Well, yeah, stars Hugh Jackman and Patrick Stewart. There's a couple other guys. One of them looks like Nosferatu. They reference it in the movie.
Oh, Neil from The Good Place?
Fuck, I
Yeah.
know.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, that's Neil,
Holy
that's Neil from The
shit.
Good Place. Yeah, have you seen The Good Place?
No.
Oh, my God.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, so it's just Wolverine, who's really old. His healing factor's not doing so hot anymore. The movie opens up with him sleeping in his limo.
Yeah. Logan really be out here like walking with that stanky leg.
Yeah,
That
he
was
do.
pretty-
really-
that was
he do.
pretty cool.
Like when he first stepped out of the car and you see the limp, it's like, oh, he's just drunk.
It almost
it's
looked like his
Logan.
leg was almost broken, and then
Yeah.
he kind of put it back together. But it was probably
Yeah,
just like a limp.
actually.
But
But yeah, then he fucks up a bunch of dudes who were like trying to steal the rims off of the
His
limo.
limo.
yeah, the chrome or whatever.
Yeah, he does the whole zombie thing where they shoot him in the chest and he's on the ground. He's like, oh, fucking this shit again, guys. Can we please just not? And then they're like, Diablo. And then they all, not all, he kills like 3 of them, dismembers a couple more.
And
they
2
all
get
run
away,
off.
yeah.
He doesn't put the lug nuts back on. one of his claws didn't even come all the way out, which kind of freaked him out a little bit. And then he goes to Mexico into like this abandoned factory where he's keeping Charles locked up in a toppled water tower because apparently that's good for him, and it keeps the psychic. Yeah. It keeps the psychic panic attacks at bay.
It keeps voices away.
Yep. It keeps the voices away unless the voices are sponsored by Taco Bell. Because when you walk into the room...
That is... Okay, as someone that just ate Taco Bell right before we started recording, do you recommend the chicken or the beef?
Steak?
Steak or the beef. Or steak or the chicken, sorry.
I prefer...
Do they actually call it steak?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I thought it was just ground beef.
No, I mean, Patrick Stewart says, Patrick Stewart. Get it with chicken, get it with steak.
Oh.
I have a feeling that was completely ad-lib.
Probably.
I feel like Patrick Stewart's
Maybe,
like,
yeah.
you assholes signed me up for 7 of these. Like, I'm done. If I don't get to do this, I'm walking.
If I don't die in this movie, I'm killing myself.
Yeah.
I definitely got the I'm having fun vibes from him 100%.
Yeah.
He was enjoying that.
Oh, dude, like in the car when like he takes some medicine and Logan's like, I want to see that you did it. And Patrick Stewart's like, ah! It's like, okay, yeah, no, he's having a good time.
Hit him with that kiss tongue, you know?
I just thought it was a little disappointing that like, okay, so for starters, in the scene where like they go into the water tower, they show that he's fucked up. He doesn't even recognize Logan at first. He's like, "You're the man that puts me to sleep." It's like, oh fuck, this is I've had relatives in like homes, and the deterioration is real, like that shit, and it's kind of wild. Makes you think. And then after that scene, he's just kind of fully there all of a sudden for the rest of the movie. I was like, you could have really done something with that.
It's a Q thing. You wouldn't understand. Like, you're not connected with it.
Oh.
Like, that means that they have the cure. They just don't want to give it to you. But they got fucking Brandon all hopped up on that shit. What's up? What's up? Okay, I'm here. I'm awake.
I think that... And
that is exactly what Brandon sounds like right after they give him whatever miracle drug they gave Patrick
But
Stewart.
they said it was ibuprofen.
What's that?
They said it was just ibuprofen.
There's no shot that they're... Wait, okay, hold on.
It's not what they inject them with. It's the pills.
I know.
Because they fucked
so
it up.
what this movie is saying is like, oh yeah, you just treat dementia by giving them 2 Advil.
Yeah.
No, I mean, that's why, like, chameleon-looking dude was just like, yeah, dude, no, you fucked up and didn't even read the label because, like, your healing factor is so bad that, like, your eyes are going bad, and now you need glasses. Because you literally just, like, went to a nurse who was selling fucking medicine like a drug dealer outside of the hospital. Real smart for that dude's job security.
Well, they're in Mexico, so...
No, that was in Texas.
Yeah.
But, you know, Texas, free estate, all I'm saying.
That's true. But yeah, no, like, he just hands him, like, the white bag. Logan doesn't even, like, read it. And then when he fucking shows them to the other dude, he's like, yeah, man, hey, listen, he needs the higher dose for the vials, and the pills you got are straight up ibuprofen. You gotta work on yourself, man, because, like, I came here to help with, like, Charles. But, like, I can't help you and Charles when you're supposed to also be helping Charles. And, like, you got all sorts of shit going on, and you don't want to talk about it for reasons. And Logan's just Logan about it, like, stay out of my shit.
Yeah.
And
he's got that real Clint energy.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he got that.
I will say, especially for an upside down New Zealander, he does like his voice and like throughout the movie, like as Logan, it's like, no, Wolverine should sound like this. This is very fitting. So
I mean, it's also because Hugh Jackman has been
Wolverine for like 20 years.
Yeah.
But like as old Gruff, like it sounds like spot on. So, you know, I mean, he had all the time in the world to get it right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't have any context to any of that shit because I never watched those movies. So in this, good Logan voice, good character voice.
But in going back to what you were talking about with that scene, it was like he was talking about like the chameleon dude. His name's Caliban.
Right.
He was in another movie, except a younger version of himself in like the 1980s,
where he's just like
the
Benedict Arnold. And
Well,
just like turning in mutants.
He's like, how do I explain it? I don't remember the full context, but
He's
I
the
looked
glorified truffle pig.
Yeah.
No, I mean he said that in the movie.
Yeah, he was helping people find mutants for, I forget if it was experiments or just getting them, and he was making a lot of money off of it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's part of, I think, Days of Future Past. He's in this one now, and yeah, he's taking care of them. But he's talking to Logan like, dude, you can't even read this. Because, you know, when you get older, you can't read the fine print of stuff.
Right.
But for Logan...
It's not even the fine print. It's what the medicine's called. That's the biggest thing on the fucking label.
I feel like this is a commentary on class. No, keep going. Keep going. No, I'm sorry. I'm being an asshole.
No, and then like the next time you see Logan out and about, like he's driving like the bachelorette parties and whatever, and all of a sudden now he has glasses. He didn't even take the fucking tag off. You can see that it's just like
you got them
random
from Walgreens.
prescription. Yeah,
you needed
Walgreens.
to pick up more Advil for Professor X.
And so, you know, I appreciated that sort of deal. I didn't even notice it on the first pass, really.
But I mean, that's what this movie kind of does pretty well in the first half, is that it's like through its dialogue and you know.
Okay, wait, hold
props
up.
and
No,
stuff.
we're not. Okay, fine. I'll fucking be serious for this one moment. No, the movie itself was beautiful. I think like the framing of every single shot and the way that they color graded and framed everything, especially with the lighting too, in the inside scenes inside of the water tower. It looked incredible.
Mm-hmm.
The dialogue, the acting, as well as the editing of this movie was absolutely fucking horrendous.
I will say Charles was the acting that I genuinely enjoyed throughout the movie.
Because he ad-libbed it.
Yeah. Like, you can never... Like, I've never seen a bad Patrick Stewart.
Yeah, of course. Like Patrick Stewart was the shining, like he was the bright spot of this movie for sure. But like
that's really fucked up that you're making fun of him for being bald.
I mean, there were a lot of cue ball jokes in the movie.
There was like one.
That's a lot.
He definitely looks like an alphabet agency agent. That's for sure. He got that thumb shit going on, you know.
What?
Yeah, dude's out here rocking like a Spy Kids villain, you know. Got that thumb energy. But anyways, yeah, the dialogue was so fucking bad. It watched like a dude that was just super into Sergio. Is it Sergio Leone? The spaghetti westerns guy.
Okay.
Like it's just that dialogue, but shot on like a nicer camera in the modern era. And I'm like, no, we can do better. We can fucking do better. If you're telling me that thousands of people worked on this movie and this is the final cut that got through the fucking writing room, yeah, they needed to go on strike.
Why?
They needed to go on strike 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Why did you think the eulogy for Logan was from the Western though?
Because Mexican, no, she's British Spanish, but like the Spanish fucking Greta Thunberg like couldn't come up with anything else.
Greta Thunberg is who you're gonna compare X-23 to?
Fucking look at her picture.
No,
like look at that frame and then look at Greta Thunberg. It's the same person.
Yeah, she was definitely having the quiet
The demeanor
kid
is
vibes.
there.
Yeah.
It's the same face. It's the same face.
Say what you're gonna say, man.
I'm just saying, it's the same face.
I just thought she looked like I thought she looked more like my sister if she was like traumatized. Like she had the dead eyes down for like being the child born from like experimentation by a corporation in a foreign country so that no one noticed.
But Jesse, like your sister kind of looks like you, so it's like you're talking about yourself. So what?
You don't look like Greta Thunberg. Stop
Yeah,
it.
I'm
so, like-
not trying to say I look like Greta Thunberg. I'm saying I thought X-23 looked more like my sister than Greta
Yeah,
Thunberg.
but to all of us, you look like your sister too. So like
That
I'm
means that
not-
you look like Greta Thunberg. That is the
I
end
do
goal.
not.
Like you just want to
I'm
be
saying
an
I don't
environmental
see-
activist. I fucking
What
get
I'm
it.
saying
we all
is
want
I
to do
don't see
something
any
that is, like,
similarity
that is a net
to Greta
positive
Thunberg.
for the fucking world. However, Not all of us can have that kind of energy.
Yeah.
Okay, man? Okay? We're fucking old. We're Logan now.
Oh,
we are not
man.
X-23.
I know.
There is no more potential.
Bringing it back.
Yeah, okay. Keep
Did
going.
But yeah, he goes driving. He's driving someone to a funeral. Random Mexican lady shows up, says Wolverine, and like he just kind of
Starts freaking the fuck
like,
out.
no. Well, I mean, he has the response of like, that's not a familiar voice, but like that was my name for a while. Like he responds like out of habit, and he's like, "Oh, this is trouble. I know immediately this is trouble." I knew it was you. I was like, "Oh fuck, I should not have turned around."
Okay, wait. Okay, so in his defense, right? If some crazy lady like just screams Wolverine at you, you're looking. That
Yeah.
doesn't mean that that's you.
Well, she didn't scream that at first. After he turned around and responded to her, she's like, "I knew it was you. Hey, I need help. Hey, Mr. Logan." And the whole thing.
Yeah,
Like
I know.
that's,
I know.
Yeah. But yeah, she's got the aforementioned, definitely not Greta Thunberg in her car when she drives off. And you find out later on that she is a mutant that has all of Wolverine's powers for some weird reason. That you're not going to immediately draw parallels to. So the reveal, when it is revealed, is still shocking.
See,
There was nothing shocking
I think
about
this
that.
is
At
the
all.
problem.
At
I
all.
think that everybody talked about this movie so much when it came out because it is very different
It is.
than any of the other X-Men
Oh, yeah.
movies.
Very-
For the first
that
half.
that it was, but just in general, just like how gritty everything was, everybody was really excited because the only other movie that really had that level of violence was probably like Deadpool.
Yeah, and the other rated R movie.
Yeah. So everybody
like,
talked
when he
about
f-
it,
when
and
he
we
fucked
kind
up
of
those
already
guys-
knew everything.
Yeah.
So like we definitely went in with a very biased view, and everybody
Yeah.
the circle that we hang out with, a lot of people kind of hyped up this movie to a point where it's like, yeah, okay, I'm down to have Hugh Jackman call me a couple of racial slurs because he's playing a Clint Eastwood character, telling me to get off his lawn, get away from his car. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, he did.
Yeah,
He got in
he
the way of
did.
the bullets so the car didn't get shot.
yeah. And I'm like, listen, Gran Torino, great movie.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, go on.
And after that, he goes back. Then that's when they have the discussion of like, "Hey, Logan, like you need help. I can't do this anymore." Like, then there's the whole like adamantium bullet where it's like, this is totally insignificant and will not come back later in
Ever.
some way, shape, or
Ever.
form.
It
For
will
some
never
reason.
come
Okay,
back.
but
Ever.
I like that kind of foreshadowing stuff, But
Yeah, but like you can do it without it like acting
Being
like
like
a
that.
fucking gorilla about it.
What's that one gun, whatever thing called in film? Something gun?
Chekhov's gun.
Chekhov's
yeah,
gun.
yeah,
There
where
we
it's
go.
like it's got a.
How did
if it's
I
there,
get
it's
that
a-
before you? You're the movie.
I don't know, man. Don't ask questions right now. I'm not here.
You said you were.
No.
You did the bit and you're like, I have arrived.
I'm going back to sleep.
But the thing with that bullet though is, and this was kind of later on when he's talking about if you're gonna blow your brains out, do it outside so I don't have to clean it up.
Yeah.
But the thing is like,
It was outside.
well, no, no, they were in.
He didn't have to clean it up.
yeah.
But yeah, it was like it was one of those things where like like when you keep it subtle and you reference it once,
Yeah.
it's like, okay, you might forget about it by the time it becomes relevant
Yeah.
again. But it
then they
kept coming back up.
I think it did one more time.
He stared at it longingly.
No,
They
like
laid it on thick very early on, so you were like, even if
they
they
laid it
didn't
on thick
reference
early, and then like she finds it in the car before she starts talking, and then there's the whole like when X-23 starts Laura starts talking, she's like, "Oh yeah, Charles said that you want to kill yourself. He told me to not let you do that." It's like, okay, we get it. That it's like it's not immediately bringing up the bullet specifically, but it's implying the bullet.
Yeah.
And then by that time, we had already met the other actual Wolverine clone. And like once you see that he doesn't die, and when that scene comes up, it's like, I wonder how the bullet will be significant later. I wonder if he
And
is
honestly,
going to come back.
I couldn't tell. I didn't know how that bullet was going to be significant until the very end.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah,
It
was-
came out of nowhere.
It surprised me. I was so I was so shaken by that realization that it was like that was one of the most important linchpins in the entire movie.
The best part?
What was the best part?
No, like the best part was it wasn't that important.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah.
The magic bullet.
But okay,
But
let's just fucking push through this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's it called? Creepy dude with one hand who like at first is intimidating because it's a very surprisingly like flexible metal hand.
Yeah.
It was
so-
such a bad accent, though.
Oh, yeah.
it was
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
fucking Con Air Nicolas Cage.
No, my favorite part about the whole character is the hand because like when you see it at first, it's like, oh, okay, he can like do stuff. But later on at like the casino, when everything is like going crazy and he like stumbles out, you sort of see that it's just like the stub. And it's not like a cool stub. It looks like a shitty like Haas Delgado from Billy
Yes.
and Mandy stub.
Yes.
I'm like, oh, that's amazing. This
you were expecting like Capcom Spencer, and you got Haas Delgado.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
insane. False bill of goods.
and because then you see him later on like repairing the hand
Yeah.
with his one good hand, and they cover up like because with that stub you could see like halfway through, like you could see the skin.
This is
into
my
the
problem with that
thing.
character. He didn't need to exist. He could have died before any of this shit happened.
He could have died from the pipe.
Yes.
Yeah,
Like right then, I'm like, okay, so you grab his gun.
They
you
had-
grab his gun.
they
right?
had to have him be like, Laura.
the thing is, like, as the viewer, you get to feel the same torture that like the kids did in the facility by having to deal
Oh,
with him.
true.
You know?
it's like we were forced to experience a Serbian film without actually ever having to watch a Serbian film. Yeah.
That scene when like he gets destroyed and whatever, or he doesn't get destroyed, but she blitzes through like all of the soldiers
Yeah.
and whatever.
The
When she
funniest
like reveals
thing in that movie
was that
literally the funniest part of that movie because she was just screaming like Frieza from like the sub.
Yeah. Something about the way that she was like
Okay,
attacking
low
and moving.
key,
It's
dude. The
very weird.
representation was racist as shit because it kind of just sounded like her going, "Ay." And I'm like, dude, are we
It
serious
did
right
not.
now?
It was a one scream. There was no fucking
No.
yeah.
She had multiple screams throughout the
No,
movie,
no,
but-
there were
Her
multiple
face is
screams.
mousy as shit.
But I'm just
if
saying
you put
it
a
wasn't.
sombrero on,
yeah,
she's
yeah.
a cartoon.
There wasn't a
character.
trill to
There
it.
was
Is
not
what
a
I'm
trill.
saying.
It was close though. It was very close.
Yeah, but yeah, no. She starts tearing through like all of them, and for some reason, you know, the weight of like an 8-year-old jumping on your back and twirling spins, you know, a 250-pound man down to the ground, and then she can do the stabby stab.
It's called
Yeah.
torque.
Yeah, all right. But then like she shows off the whole like the foot claw that makes her different from Wolverine. It's like, oh, that's actually kind of neat.
Still
But she has
uncomfortable.
one less hand claw as a result.
But that, yeah, that's.
But
the
then
whole
it's
thing.
another
But I
thing
feel
of,
like
like,
that third claw is
flexibility.
going to come out with puberty, though. I think like that's a puberty thing.
like developing secondary characteristics. I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then they leave their safe spot. Callahan gets captured because that scene was so great. He like leaves Delgado in the ditch. They
That
show
was horrible.
they show the road in the distance.
Yeah.
He puts Delgado in the ditch. He walks back to the trunk. You hear the guy immediately already in the shotgun seat. He closes the door, and all of a sudden, just a whole fucking caravan of cars, like military grade vehicles,
A whole fucking
is just
squadron.
like not like 2 blocks away. It's like, okay, we saw out into the distance of like where the canyon is and whatever's going on out there. No cars, no dust trails, nothing. In 2 seconds, all of these military vehicles are 2 blocks away.
I can
Okay.
explain that away. Mutant cars.
So they all run away. He shoves Charles into the car. Cadbury's captured. They go out to, was the casino first?
Yeah, they go to was it Oklahoma
By doing
City?
like yeah. By
Yeah.
doing the whole like train dodge thing, and then if you get one freight train in between you and your pursuers, that buys you a whole day.
Yeah.
where you can just kind of fuck off and not worry about them being on
have
your
you
tail.
ever been stuck behind a
I
freight
have.
train? It feels like a day. Okay?
I'm not saying it doesn't.
Yeah.
It definitely does.
But you know how fucking lazy those guys are. They're like, oh, God.
You saw them afterwards. I'm like, well, there's a train, man.
Yeah.
Take the day off. Like, go on lunch.
The best part of that scene was when
Federellis are totally unionized.
when he like ran the fucking limo.
Through the fence.
Yeah,
And it
and
just
it
doing
goes
it,
through.
just- yeah.
It's like,
And then he used it like a fucking ninja weapon and was just whipping motorcycle fuckers with it. I'm like, okay, that's kind of sick.
I mean, he didn't even do that much. He just went in reverse and it was still stuck to him.
Yeah.
He made like one really fast like reverse Tokyo drift. And
Yeah,
that
and
got
then-
a motherfucker like splatting him into the
But
wall.
then like
That was sick.
But then the fence just kind of came off. It was just like,
Yeah,
well, my
as soon
job
as it-
here is
yeah.
done. It's like, yeah, I did this for the movie, and then it just left.
Yeah. So then they pull up to the casino in Oklahoma City. Bullet holes, everything
Cracked
missing.
windows.
Yeah.
There's like so much blood on everyone.
He just
He
gives
gets
it to
rid
the
of-
valet guy. He's
yeah.
like, hey, yeah, keep
He-
this warm for me or whatever.
Just
He
keep it in
gets
front.
rid of the limo, gives it to like junkers or whatever, then buys
Yeah.
something for 10 grand.
Right.
And they get rid of the papers and
Greedy motherfucker. He had $20,000 in cash from the Mexican lady that was with.
Oh, yeah, no, she died like a while ago.
Yeah,
at this
the
point.
Mexican lady that was
Taking care
basically
of
Laura's caretaker was like a nurse in the facility that she was made in.
Well,
So
I mean, we
that's the
can bring her up
context.
because this is where they show like,
The video.
who she is and everything.
the found footage and all that.
Yeah,
That's
all that
nice.
stuff of like, hey, there's this American corporation
Okay.
operating in
So
Mexico. They were experimenting on
I have
kids.
a very large problem with this part of the movie.
Yeah.
She is recording a video of herself talking into, I think it was a Sony Ericsson phone. Which
Yeah.
one? Love Sony Ericsson. Sony Ericsson's dope. Sony Ericsson's my best friend.
You can edit videos on that, you know?
But yeah, it's like, okay, so you're in your motel room
where we saw
knowing-
you die.
knowing that people are after you. Somehow you managed to make a 5-minute YouTube documentary editing on your fucking phone with all of the footage that you sneakily recorded in your former place of employment.
Yeah.
Sneakily recorded is pretty bold.
Yeah.
She went into the fucking janitor closet, opened it for like 3 seconds. Guards walked by, totally didn't notice.
They get their security from the same place as Gotham does, man.
Yeah.
Just leave it alone.
Yeah, real life Gotham security.
Nurses are the real heroes. That's what this shows us. They have all the power.
So then they're in the casino. Patrick Stewart's just like, yeah, well, get her clothes. We need to freshen up. Give her like some sort of hint of normalcy. They have X-Men comic books in this universe,
That
which is a
didn't
little
make sense
strange.
to me at all. I mean,
And then Logan sees that the nurse, like, their whole plan was to like go to a place that was in an X-Men comic book that was allegedly like a refuge for mutants.
You just got
That was in the
real angry about it.
Yeah, which
And I'm like,
makes sense.
She's a kid. Like, what are you doing?
Well, I think he
man?
was more mad that it was the nurse's idea.
Yeah.
And he's like, this lady told you to go to a place that doesn't exist. Like, I'm sorry to fucking rub it in your face, kid, but like, this doesn't exist. Your existence is bleak, blah, blah, blah. Life sucks. And Patrick Stewart's like, hey, man, listen. She grew up in a lab after being made in a lab and has only known the lab where all they did was child experimentation. I don't think she needs a reminder that life can be bleak.
Shinzo Abe is her fucking grandfather.
What does that?
Come on. You know where I'm going with this. We're talking about war
That's why I
crimes.
stopped. But yeah, Logan goes to get the new car, gets clothes for everyone up in the hotel room. Patrick Stewart's watching a movie with Laura because she's never watched a movie. He's like, this picture's almost 100 years old.
It's like,
I watched
saw
it
this
when I was a boy.
Yeah.
And everything. And it's a spaghetti western, and it's about like this town has no guns because we shoot all the people that have guns. So that way there's only one person with a gun, and that makes us safe. And for some reason, he has to leave town, and he gives this child a speech that totally won't come back later for some reason.
Of course
About
not.
a man having to do what a man's got to do. He's got to be him, and that's just who he is.
Oh, because he's
Real
a him.
talk, that quote felt so more out of place then
Yeah.
than it did at the end of the
Yeah.
movie. just horrible.
Yeah,
Just
that
horrible.
was not great. I don't know if the movie is like significant in general.
That's a genre of film that it's one of my blind spots, so I have no idea what that movie was.
Okay. I just wanted to be sure that none of us knew what it was.
It would be
Yeah, no, I
super
have no
funny
idea.
if that was like in like Patrick Stewart would only sign the contract if they made that movie. Yeah.
Oh God, I feel like that's
the
what
movie
happened.
is the linchpin.
Because he was having a lot of fun
Because
with
that
movie.
was the point, right? That
Yeah.
was the point in the movie where it turned bad. Right after that quote happened,
yeah.
you're like, it's just
Yeah.
a superhero movie now.
Yeah. And then Logan goes to get the car and everything. He's coming back, and then he notices all the goons are there because the freight train finally ran its course.
They're all just such a they're
And-
all
and
just
then-
a bunch
And
of
then
fucking
as he's
goobers.
walking in the
And
in
then
the
everyone
lounge, yeah.
gets hit with the old man.
The old man Tizzy. Yeah. He just has an episode, and then it's just everybody's
He
stuck.
keeps everyone like frozen in place, which I thought it was just like, because when we saw it happen the first time,
Yeah.
we saw it affect Callahan or whatever.
Yeah, Caliban, yeah. Yeah, because
but-
it's supposed to be like a brain thing. Like, it's like frying
Right.
your brain, and it's like it's hard to move like a...
Right.
Like, have you ever gotten like a sort of sleep paralysis where you're sitting there and it feels like difficult to move or whatever?
I have not. but-
Okay, I've had that a couple times, but it's supposed to be like that. But it's supposed to be like that where you're not able to really move at all because you're like sort of paralyzed. But
No, I got this, Harry. I got this. Has your foot ever fallen asleep?
I have a counter argument, okay? It's the Harlem Shake, but Charles is early,
Charles is the only one shaking.
so Logan has to
How
stop him.
the fuck are you doing this on our podcast right now?
No, dude, that totally makes sense though, because like
Everyone's still
Charles
waiting
is
for
the
it.
only one doing the do 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 do.
He's just
the
waiting.
intro part.
Yeah, everybody's just waiting for the drop. It just never
The drop
comes.
never comes.
Yeah.
Logan starts to drop for everyone.
But yeah, so then they take off from there. They go on the highway. There's auto trucks, which I'm guessing are just like
yeah,
Elon Musk
Transformers
takes
crossover.
over. Yeah, Elon Musk takes over before 2029. All the shipping is done automatically. And when they change lanes, they just beep
Run
like, to
over
warn shit.
everything.
Like, hey, listen, I'm changing. Fuck you.
No sensors.
No sensors.
Same thing as a
yeah, that's
Tesla.
why. Yeah, that's why.
Yeah.
That's why I said what I said. But yeah.
runs
They almost
another
get
vehicle.
they almost get run off the road. Then this other family gets run off the road, and they have a bunch of horses. And then somehow, some way, getting run off the road just opened the thing for the horses, so the horses could get out onto the highway. None of the horses
Dude,
get hit.
Okay,
because
hold on. Locks have feelings too. Okay, if you're gonna get
Locks
run,
have feelings.
yeah, if you're gonna get fucking run off the road, you're definitely gonna get you're gonna get a little spooked. So you open up. Okay,
and then
fucking chill,
And then
man.
Patrick Stewart rolls like a 20 on like animal handling and just psychically talks
Yeah.
to the horses
Yeah.
to get them to cross the road safely. And
They get
then
invited
they
to
get
dinner.
invited to dinner by the family. And for the next 20 minutes, it's just kind of like, oh, wow, I wonder what's going to happen to this like poor rural family that
You know what's crazy? I thought that there was going to be so much more meaning for that like entire interaction because I'm like, oh, maybe this is the part where like it humanizes Wolverine, right? Where it's like, oh,
he shakes it off immediately when it's
yeah.
like, this should be humanizing me. He's like, nah.
yeah, because I'm just like, he sees how happy Laura is in that interaction with like being around all these people and like seeing how a family interacts.
I think that's what the takeaway was supposed to be.
Yeah, and then Hugh Jackman was like, "No, I'm not a bitch," and then and then he went and fought the KKK.
Do bitches fucking snap guns with their knees?
Yeah,
Like,
so I'm thinking,
Like, I'm feeling too many
from
emotions. I just gotta really
just
get
from
this
like
out.
a logistical standpoint of that scene after the dinner, where like he goes with a dad to go to
Fix the water.
What the
big
fuck did he
corporation-
think was going to happen after he left? You fucked with racist water owners. Like
Yeah.
they're gonna come back and lynch the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
So
did
that
not
part,
think
yeah.
that through. He
Yeah.
did not think that through.
Yep. But it didn't matter because he also
Because-
just killed him.
I
But
mean-
it wasn't him.
I mean, Hugh Jackman versus Hugh Jackman was kind of sick.
Yeah, that was neat. I did like enjoy that.
I think the only actual moment in the movie where I felt any kind of emotion that was positive was the scene of Patrick Stewart, like right before he died.
Yeah.
Like right before he gets killed, where he's just talking about, oh, this was
so good for Laura. She finally has a
but
good
it was
family
but it was
experience.
also like this was the best night that I have had in a very long time.
Yeah.
But
And
I don't
deserve it.
Yeah.
Like
And
that was the
yeah.
part of the movie where I'm like, okay, no, that does tug at some heartstrings, and the
Yeah.
writing in that specific part was
And it's
really
like
good.
we didn't have the context for it, but they do it enough to give us an idea of like, because he starts saying like, I was the one that like made the bad shit happen. That's like why all the X-Men
Yeah.
died or whatever. Like he doesn't say
Yeah.
that. Like the dialogue's not that fucking bad and in your face,
Yeah.
but like the way he goes about it, like you get that much, and like I don't know if that's
Bro.
You
one of
get
those
enough
things
of the
where like he
context.
suppressed it, and
Yeah.
that's why
you
his-
get enough of the context where like you can piece it
Yeah.
together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially throughout the movie where they talk about it before while they're driving, and they're like, "Oh, the thing
Yeah.
that happened at the casino is like what happened a year ago, where 7 mutants died."
Yeah.
Like they
Right.
talk about that. So
But the way that he died was just really lame. So,
Yeah.
It's like I mean, I
did
get it.
appreciate
I
that
get
it was
like,
like
an assassination.
Right.
But
And I did appreciate that, like, when Logan went upstairs to, like, check on him, like, the first reaction is, like, bring him down and just to, like, remind him in case, like, he's still there or whatever. Like, it wasn't me. I didn't do it. The person that did this to you was not me. It was, another one of these fucking clones or whatever. It's
It
like,
was to
it's-
harken back to when he didn't recognize Logan at the start of the movie.
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
I just made that up. I don't know if that was actually intentional.
No,
I
that's
feel-
fine.
No, I'd
You're
say
fine.
that was pretty
That was
close to,
probably,
like,
like,
what
the-
they were
the
going
intention.
for.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then right after that, they like, where did they go after that? They went to another place to pick up another car.
Well,
They
didn't
changed
even...
cars again.
No, they didn't pick up
They
the car.
buried,
They buried
They
him.
buried him.
There
and
was
then-
water.
Yeah.
And he started getting really choked up over there was
Yeah,
water.
and then like they
I think that's
recreated
because
that.
of the boat.
Yeah.
They recreated the scene or like they recreated the same pose of like
The mannequins.
the mannequins of like holding hands and shit. I'm like, okay, cool. This is another.
Except she doesn't know how to hold hands, and she just holds his wrist.
Bro, her hands were so tiny.
They were.
She could not hold his hand.
Yeah.
She can hold a finger.
Yeah.
But that's like, think about it. It's like babies hold you by the finger.
Yeah.
Hugh Jackman's hands are so fucking
She's
big.
his baby.
That, like, I know, but like an 8-year-old could still only hold the finger.
Yeah. Hugh Jackman's hands are like abnormally large.
Yeah.
So that happens, and then they go get another car. Right?
Well, he
Well, they-
just passes out in the street, and she steals, Shiloh showed up on the other side of the riverbank with his owner, and she just like jacked their car to save him, and then
that
he
is
wakes
what
up in the
happened.
hospital.
That is what happened. Okay. Yeah, they came out of like a quick clinic.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
We never found out what was killing him, though. That annoyed me.
In the movie,
I think it was
it's heavily
implied that it was like the
adamantium.
adamantium was poisoning him. Like
Because-
that's when he
and-
talked with the scientist towards the end, where he's like, "You might be familiar with my father from the Weapon X program." He's like, "Yeah, I think I killed that guy." He's like, "I think you might be right." He said something about like putting
my
this
dad was an
poison in me
asshole
and
anyways.
everything.
Yeah.
So I think that
And they do imply it throughout the thing, like
something inside you was killing you.
Yeah, Caliban's like, oh, I can smell that you're getting sick. Like
something inside.
Which is funny because there's actually somebody who was able to smell like people being sick. Like she could smell Parkinson's on people even before they knew they had Parkinson's. So like it's
And
pretty.
Charles was like, "Nah, broken,
yeah.
wiped."
But I guess it would be the same thing as would it not be the same thing as cancer if your cells are constantly
That's what I was
generating,
thinking. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
he was suffering from some kind of
Well,
cancer.
his cells were what
constantly
made Deadpool.
regenerating? Yeah. So that was probably it.
Oh yeah, actually, totally missed it in the beginning. But like, when he gets shot up by the cholos or whatever,
Mhm.
and you see him like healing and like the
It
fucking
pushes the
bullet
shit out.
casings or like being popped down. I was like, okay, hold on, like cool imagery, fucking like makes the healing factor look like. Okay, I can understand why the whole like healing thing kind of sucks because that looks like it hurts a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, listen, I don't know too much about guns, but if you got shot with a shotgun, the shell is not
it's
in
not
you.
coming. Yeah.
Like what's in you is the pellets and the
The
buckshot
buckshot,
and
yeah.
everything. It's not
No,
the bullet
you don't
casing
understand.
that
It's a
falls into
2029
the-
shotgun. It's different.
It's all a whole bunch of bullets within the shell.
yeah, it's different. We
There's the
became
bullet
much more
casing
destructive.
and then the bullet casing inside the bullet casing. It like
Yeah.
marks them, so you
Whoa,
know that
hey.
that was who you shot.
Guns in 29 will just hit different.
yeah, much more destructive. It's kind of like one of those Russian dolls. You know, it's just bullets inside of bullets.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to get at.
What are those things called?
Matryoshka dolls, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure.
Oh, I was just gonna say the nesting dolls.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody gets what I'm saying.
Yeah. They leave the little clinic or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Logan's like, yeah, I don't like. You shouldn't steal shit, but like, I don't know how you got me here, but like, thanks. And then for the first time in the movie,
She talks.
3/4 of the way through, she's like, de nada. He's like, wait, you can talk?
Yeah.
See,
So here's the thing.
where the fuck has that been for the last 2,000 miles? And then she just pops off.
So
full
here's the
ranting.
thing with like selective mutism, which is like an actual like thing.
Doctor talk.
The way in which if you talk for the person who's doing selective mutism, you reinforce that behavior. So Charles was actually reinforcing her mutism throughout the time, and now that he wasn't there to talk for her, she actually had to talk for herself.
That's
Yeah.
pretty interesting.
Yeah.
But in that scene, they finally like drive to the drive towards the
South
sanctuary, North Dakota.
No, yeah.
Oregon.
All right, who else can name a state?
No, that was the bit
No, yeah,
at the dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so then finally, like, Logan falls asleep at the wheel, a la the homie Jesse.
Mm-hmm.
And
Except, it was a dirt road, so he didn't need to worry about traffic.
Yeah.
yeah, and then so she's just like, okay, I'm just gonna
Let me
fucking
drive.
I'm just gonna pull this shit into a ditch, and then she just looks at him with the most like.
Well, she doesn't pull him in a
angry-
ditch. She keeps him on the road, and then
No,
he almost puts them in a
But
ditch.
like she pulls the entire car over
off
into
to
a
the side,
ditch,
yeah, yeah.
like off to the side of the road,
Oh,
and
yeah.
then was like, gave the most
You need to
mom
rest.
energy, and
Yeah.
was like, not even you need to rest.
Just
Looks at the
rest.
fucker and goes, rest. And I'm like,
and he went
No,
to
I get
sleep.
it.
No, he went to sleep, and then she like just to leave him there knocked out. She like got out of the car, went all the way around, kicked his foot out of the way, and then just drove the rest
Yeah.
of the way.
how did he sleep in the L position?
That's a
Because
great
that's what
question.
happened. If
It
she
was-
kicked the fucking legs down, motherfucker was sleeping in the L position.
It was like it was only one leg too. Like one leg was still like up on the chair and like bent. The other one that was like fully extended. Is
he
just, like,
slept
down.
in the R position.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
And this is an X-Men
And for
movie.
2
I know.
days. He
Yeah.
did that for 2 days, and then like he got there, he got out of the car.
He wakes
She's like,
up just
"Mírale,"
being, he like
and then he
wakes up
falls
being
asleep
pulled-
again.
He wakes up being pulled up by like the
The children
least
of the corn.
safe,
Way of doing
yeah,
that. Yeah.
the least safe pulley system where I'm like, no, that can just snap. That's rope.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a 260-pound man.
I need to go back to something and ask Carrie this.
Yeah, yeah.
The changing the like grave marking from like a cross to an X. What was that?
X-Men, dude.
it was
that was
X-Men.
for, that
No.
was just for. I'm pretty sure
X-Men.
that was just for X-Men, just to
Wow.
be like,
Okay.
like the Christian cross, blah blah blah, whatever. And no,
Okay.
X-Men.
I just want to make
It's a
sure.
really
It felt lazy, but I just wanted
no,
to make sure.
it was what
Okay.
it. What
Yeah,
you
at
thought it
first I was also confused. Like, what the fuck is like? Oh, it's for X-Men.
Yeah,
okay.
Okay.
No, it
Yeah.
was. But there's a lot that needs to be talked about the last 20 minutes, but we'll get there eventually.
I mean, like, we're
we're
there.
here.
We're there.
We're there.
We're at
Well,
the camp
no,
with
Okay,
the
so
kids.
who the
scene.
fuck what was the name of like the leader of the Children of the Corn?
The children of the
That is a good name.
That's a
I
great
like
name
that
for him.
name.
I like it.
Did they
But
actually?
I don't remember.
I know.
I said it
I
like
know.
2 minutes
The
ago, and you
children
guys
of-
didn't notice.
I
I
didn't.
was having my hand attacked by.
No,
by
okay,
Cat.
seriously. Did they give him a name?
No, he was like, well, I mean, she rented off all the names. I want to say he was Victor. I couldn't tell
Okay,
if it
no,
was
he's
Victor
Connor
or
now.
Richter.
Yeah, so like fucking Connor is like being an asshole to this to Logan, right? He's just like hands him an envelope full of money, and he's just like, "This is why you did it, right?" And I'm like, "The fuck? What is this energy, kid?"
Well,
Like,
I mean,
fuck
at,
off,
at
bro.
first he was like, sort of grateful. Like, Laura's been telling us about it because he fell asleep for another 2 days.
Yeah.
No, he only fell asleep for 2 days that time. The other time where he was in the car, he was just passed out.
No, they said it was a 2-day trip.
Well,
And then he wakes up and they're there.
I love seeing him get raised on the stretcher. That was the face that he made on the stretcher was hilarious.
Okay, like I just woke up with a "Where am I?" and like this is so much scarier than like tchotchke little zeppelins.
Yeah.
Like I see the sky and I'm being pulled and I have no idea where I am right now.
But yeah, that kid
Who's
just had
pulling
like
me
the
up?
weirdest
Children.
fucking energy.
Literal children. The bullet comes up
there's
again.
literally
Yeah,
nothing. So he wakes up, he's in the room, they give him the medicine to like give him they give him the Brondo to like get him straight.
It helps you heal, which mirrors what the evil doctor gave clone Logan.
Yeah.
Except when he was, I don't know if you understood what he was saying. He's like, your
Yeah,
cells
I
are going to blah, 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 science talk, doctor talk, whatever.
Yeah.
Helps you heal or whatever. It's like, that's all we needed.
So
I don't know why you're talking
that
about-
happens, and the bullet comes back up, and he was just like, I was just gonna use it on myself. I'm like, God fucking damn
He
it,
was
bro!
very
Like you
honest with,
listen
like,
to
an
too much
8-year-old.
My Chemical Romance, Hugh Jackman. Listen to new music.
Yeah. And then he, totally goes back to sleep again after he sees that the kids are gathered around the campfire and singing a campfire song. And wakes up. They're all gone. He sees like the little vial, like, don't take it all at once. And he goes out, looks to like where they said they had to go to cross into Canada because they're like
That's
sponsored or
yeah.
whatever for only a certain amount of time to cross. And then he sees all the drones going. He's like, uh-oh, because dude, like Hostel Gato was given the picture that Laura had the whole time that has the fucking coordinates
on it,
of where they're going to meet up written on it.
Those coordinates were written at least 3 times. Like, not very clever.
on like multiple different surfaces.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, like in
One
the
was
comic
on the
book-
money.
Oh, it was
It's
on-
in the comic.
Yeah.
It was on the paper that
For
the
the
money
money,
was
yeah.
wrapped in the comic that they kept on hand at all times. And then on the picture with the names of all the kids as well. Like, hey, if you need a checklist of all your targets, here you go. And
It's like a
fucking
stack
gave
of
it to
trading cards made by the Archdiocese.
Mhm. Then yeah, Logan takes off, except all of a sudden he realizes I've been sleeping for 5 days, and in that time I don't have cardio now, so I need to fully juice myself just to catch up to these crazy kids in the woods.
These kids and their hijinks really have me winded,
Yeah, he gets there. They're like, I think they killed one of the kids. They're trying to capture the rest.
No, I
I don't think any of the kids actually
they didn't-
died.
and none
But
of them
like
died.
That
they,
would make
they
the rating
shot
A
go
couple
up.
got shot.
Oh yeah, they got shot.
They shot the main leader
yeah.
dude that had the
But-
fucked up vibes.
But they made sure to be like, don't worry, it's just a flesh wound. Like he's not gonna die from it.
Yeah.
They had to make that perfectly clear.
I think it would
So-
be a rated R movie. Was it a rated
Yeah,
R?
yeah, it was rated
R.
rated R.
Dude, you think like how they showed him fuck up those gangsters in the opening scene was going to be PG-13?
Potentially.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
It's
Not
the fuck
with that
really turns
and
it
all
into
the
R.
other shit with
Dude, his
Laura.
claws made a pachinko machine noise through the skulls of those gangsters. Do you really fucking think that is gonna be PG-13?
Fair.
I mean, America's fucked up, but not that fucked up. Jesus.
So yeah, he runs up after him.
But that's the other
The
thing.
people
too.
without Clone Wolverine
Yeah.
are already like catching all the kids. And then
He takes the entire vial of Brondo, got the electrolytes that his body needed, and started
then
fucking
the
shit
healing
up.
factor already slowed down by the time he caught up.
Well, no. He had gone and fought.
Brondo
people,
is fast acting.
and then
And not long lasting.
He got
Yeah.
the sugar crash. Like it's corn syrup.
yeah,
Come on.
remember.
Dude, come on.
But here's the thing that's kind of like he's like at least a few miles away from them.
Yeah.
And
he had to catch up.
Yeah, but how did he like catch up that fast? Because I don't think he took,
Steroids.
but he didn't take them until he got closer to him.
Yeah. Until he
So
was
then
already
he
in the
ran.
woods.
He already ran all the way over there.
So that means-
trying to chase the vehicles that are already going like 30 miles an hour or 60 miles an hour or whatever, chasing these kids. Like the whole scene progression just didn't make sense to me.
The whole movie.
The
didn't
whole
make
movie
sense to
was
me.
pretty fucked up.
The first half was fine.
No.
I
was
like
fine.
to believe. Yeah.
It was fine.
But
Okay,
But then this all happens, and I already
the
knew-
end of the movie doesn't matter. The end of the movie,
No, it
like
doesn't.
the bukkake scene was fucking hilarious though.
That
No.
I.
no, it's a bukkake scene
yeah,
because
it's-
like
Oh, you mean what they did to Hostel Gatto?
Yeah.
They like
Oh,
wrapped
okay.
him. They wrapped him up, and they were
against
just
his will, and then they went in a circle, shoulder to
okay.
shoulder.
Wait, hold up. That girl that could control nature. That shit was actually pretty fire though.
Yeah,
She like shredded two dudes with fucking trees.
that was
Yeah,
pretty sick.
and then for the guy who was
real
like the
real
reason that they
Hashirama
all,
hours.
I just thought it was weird how like the guy like comparatively like he got off real like it was really lame what they did to him, and he was in like the behind the scenes videos that the nurse had filmed in the facility. Like he was always there.
One of those girls literally froze his head.
yeah, and, like
Yeah.
What the fuck do you mean he got
Wrapping
it?
was
in
a slow-
grass was like, listen, if
in
she can
order to
control
hold him
roots,
down.
Dude, I'm saying like she could have done tree roots or something that like you saw these kids already lighting people on
dude,
fire.
But the Evil Dead did that already. You can't steal that.
I don't know.
Literally the most uncultured piece
Yeah.
of shit, and I decided to do a movie podcast with him.
To get me cultured.
yeah,
And you just okay, whatever, man.
But yeah, so they did that. They
The
froze him.
extended-
They like gave him the little like the shock therapy.
They just booped him.
Yeah.
But then, like, the best part of the last 20 minutes of the movie is the extended X-23 versus, I think, the clone Wolverine was X-24.
yeah.
Yep.
Hilarious. Because
So-
she was just, like, stabbing him in the neck, and it just looked like a child and her father, like, fucking around.
Yeah.
And he was just like, no, you got me the entire time.
So I don't know if anyone here like knows or like looked into it or whatever, it'd probably be you, Harry. When they were talking about like, oh yeah, no, the children thing was like kind of working out, but they still had emotions.
Yeah.
And we were just like, nah. They tried figuring something else out, and you saw them like growing limbs from scratch or some shit. Is that what it's supposed to imply that X-24 is?
I think you know what
Because the dude said like, oh yeah, you know, the kids had emotions, but if you just build from rage from the ground up or whatever, I was like, is that what he's supposed to be?
He's like, you can't nurture rage. You have to create it. So I'm sure that's what it is.
Because
It's
all
implied
that Logan did was just the whole fucking time.
Yeah. No. That's essentially
He ate
what
Taco
it is.
Bell.
I wonder how much they
That's rage.
pay Hugh Jackman to play that Wolverine, X-24. Like,
Okay.
because that must have been like just the
2
biggest chore.
quesaritos.
I will say, like, watching the video of him doing the ADR for like the grunting and fighting in the forest, pretty dope. Like, that's a fun
but-
little watch
okay,
on its
so
own.
This is fucked up. I know this is gonna make me sound a little bit cold-hearted, right? But the scene where like Hugh Jackman dies, where like Wolverine finally dies, and he's like, "Oh, that's what it feels like." I'm like, I want that.
What?
When he finally dies, and he has
You
like
want
the
to
fucking
die
tree-
surrounded by loved ones?
He's like,
No, I just want to. I just
Loved
want to be
ones.
like, yo, DMT's fucking sick.
Because he's
One
been
last
longing
hit,
for death
bro.
yeah,
so long.
yeah, because it's just like, you know, how many cycles of war and all of this shit do you have to go through, and like to finally reach that point of like existential release.
Yeah,
Like,
I
that
already
has to be incredible.
You just reminded me something. That one scene that they really like spent a lot of time setting up of like him like clicking the shotgun at Logan,
Yeah.
but it not actually, and then Logan's reaction to like, oh, they still see me as a monster kind of thing. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, they're trying to be deep here. I see them trying.
It's
I don't
like,
even know if it's like-
fifth grader deep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
because it was like, how much is monsters? How much is like you brought you're why they're all here. Like you helped me out a lot today. Like you were about to like kill these fucking clan members or whatever with me, which would have been sick. But you knew you were being followed by these guys, and you stayed in my house and brought them here, and now my whole family's dead. Fuck you, dude. I think it was more like that than the fifth grade deep, like, oh, I'm just a monster.
Yeah, that's how I interpreted it, because it's like, if it wasn't for them, they wouldn't have had to deal with that. So.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess to reinforce that, because like Logan is like a walking never forget, because like he's like everyone around me that I care about dies, and like
Yeah.
that phrase came up one too many times.
Oh yeah. If it came up once, it'd be fine. But it feels
That's
like
the problem with this movie.
Yeah.
The writing was just really fucking lazy.
Somewhat
because
repetitive, yeah.
no, it's
It's like with
because
a-
it's a superhero movie.
With a mid script, it's like the actors can only do so much. You know?
No, but seriously, like that ending scene when he's dying and she's crying there, I'm like, no, this is not it.
Yeah.
This is not it.
Imagine like, too, like all the like I'm sure all the X-Men fans and whatever, because like when I was told like, oh yeah, you know, he died, he was like stuck on a tree stump, I was like, the man who like fucking battalions of people in wars since like in some continuities or whatever, like the Civil War,
Yeah.
since all this time, all these battles, one tree,
Nature prevails.
Who is going? Yeah.
That's the real
Who
story.
is going to win? A clawy boy or a tree? The
Clawy
tree.
boy
The tree of
capable of
life.
like slaughtering thousands. One branchy boy.
One branchy boy. Yeah, the claw boy versus the branchy boy.
Yeah.
But then like the movie ends like pretty much right there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They do the whole they
She
do
gives
the
speech
monologue.
that she saw in the movie because she doesn't know how to
And
process
then they do
emotions.
that. They do like a really
Because she's Logan's daughter, not
Yeah.
because she grew up in a lab.
Not because she's
They
got a
do
bird.
they do the most Protestant thing ever and like turn the cross because Protestants are just like the spawn of devils. I'm surrounded by Catholics.
Traitors
That's
to their people.
that's the joke here.
Well,
Okay.
Well-
Yeah.
He's
Catholics
smiling
and Catholic adjacents.
Yeah.
We can share
Catholics
each
and-
other's Eucharist.
Yeah.
And that's
Catholics and Catholic adjacents. But we all look down upon the Protestants though.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Um
Solidarity.
the movie literally just fucking ends there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like the thing that pissed me off the most was how the ending
I
title
just
screen
wanted
is
her-
just Logan. I'm
Yeah.
like, stop. Fucking stop.
I just wanted her to be like, there's water. I was waiting for that
if
to
she
come up.
did that, I think I would have liked the ending.
Yeah.
I think that if the ending monologue was her just looking out by like the lakefront and just went there's water and then like it ends there, I think that would have been much more emotional.
Yeah.
Than
The whole
what they
Western
fucking
movie,
did.
Yeah.
the whole like the Western movie at all just made it all suck that much worse.
It
I want to
was-
believe Charles was laughing in his grave when she was uttering those words.
I thought that the movie was going to be able to lead into a much deeper discussion about certain things, but the movie is just so
It
fucking
quit.
I was
It
hoping
set
for
up
it too,
all these
but-
cool things at
It
the
was
beginning.
just
Yeah,
so like the movie started off so strong for the first like 45-ish minutes, and I was like, "Ooh, this is exciting." And then it just was
became
a
every
train
other
wreck.
superhero.
It was a
movie.
fucking train wreck after that point. And it was I don't know.
It just made it disappointing.
There was no commentary to really be made aside from just being like, yeah, it's a Western movie with superheroes.
Yeah, it's
All right,
like
Harry.
they brought up like the big pharma, the big like
Yeah,
corn
but didn't like
industry.
talk about any
No,
of
but
it.
like the
Yeah, they
problem
brought
is,
it up
what
and
was
just
the
stopped
message?
there. It's like, you
what
guys
was the
could've-
message though? Are we anti-vax? Are we pro corn syrup? Like what the fuck are we
no,
doing?
it's anti-corn syrup because
No, we're like pro big soda. Like that's what's up
because
here.
the
That's
doctor.
last week's movie. Get it right.
Right. This is the same thing. This is the same. No, last week was anti-big soda. Come on.
Wait, so in your own words,
Yeah.
what was the point of like the corn syrup and everything that the doctor was talking about?
So it sounded like they were saying that
When did the doctor bring it up?
the doctor brought it up when he was monologuing, like he was straight up monologuing
Before
to
he
Logan.
got killed.
He was
Yeah.
predating.
Yeah.
What did he say?
No,
When he was talking to Logan about
he was
like,
saying, "Oh, well, you know, we kind of did this. We kind of planned this whole thing. We put it in the cereal, in beverages, to like a sort of vaccine to reduce the birth rate of mutants. And the only thing between like soda and cereal is corn syrup. So like." Going back to the
dude,
GMOs
I
that they had with the
totally
corn,
missed
yeah.
that.
So
man.
like, it basically corn syrup bad because it gets rid of like
This movie is anti-fluoride. That's what this is. This movie is fucking anti-fluoride in water. Holy shit, this movie is so stupid. Fuck.
No, dude, this is literally like the
Yeah.
fucking no. It's the anti-vax. It's an anti-vax movie because it's just like, nah, man, that shit. Like corn alters your DNA.
I mean,
it's-
okay, but the thing is, since it like the children came from Mexico, right? You could just say it is.
They
just
didn't come from Mexico, did they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
because they were all made there.
Ah,
They're all,
okay.
like in the documentary, the girl's like, yeah, these children were born of like Mexican girls who people can no longer find. And then, like-
right.
And like
right.
the amount of soda consumption in Mexico, especially for children, is a big issue. So I could see it being
No,
the
'cause here's the
anti-corn
thing.
syrup angle.
Yeah,
Here's the thing,
that's
no.
what it is.
In Mexico, though, it's all real sugar.
No, it's not. It has been
Not
proven to
always.
not be
Oh, is it?
real sugar.
You got to look for it, I think.
It's like I think certain kinds of Doritos are the only things that are actually made with real sugar.
Really?
Everything else is still just corn syrup.
For shame.
Yeah. Shout outs to the CIA operative Johnny Harris for exposing that one.
Oh.
Well, here's where the commentary would be if any like actual commentary was done in the movie. But like we said, they brought up the topic and then just kind of left it there. It's
There's just not much to unpack. It's like
Yeah.
everything was just anything that could have led to an actual intriguing discussion kind of just died after like the
After being
fifth-
mentioned.
It's like the fifth fucking fight scene that played out the exact same way as the other like four.
yeah.
Because it always just ended up being like a Devil May Cry video game action sequence where it's just like a bunch of like blades swinging around and blood flying everywhere.
Yeah, it's fun to play, but not always good to watch.
Yeah, because you're playing Devil May Cry on easy mode. That's what this movie was.
So that's why, like, overall, I think we all found it like a little like disappointing. Because I'm sure, like, I'm sure you, Harry, watched it like,
when it came out. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and all the
'Cause
hype was
I
there,
liked
and
it.
everyone was
So
talking about it.
honest question.
Yeah.
Like, was it bad the second time around? Like,
Yeah,
I feel
no,
like you
the
enjoyed
first
it
time,
the first
time I was like, yeah, this is great. But after years of not watching it again, and then watching it like 2 days ago, I was like, there are a lot of things like
Yeah.
logistically that don't make sense, especially with the content from the other movies. Like, for example, the adamantium bullet, it would not kill him because they literally shot him with an adamantium bullet in X-Men Origins Wolverine, and that's why he had his memory loss. So, like, at worst, it would put a hole in his skull in between the like where the adamantium is. So
Maybe the clone was a defect, though.
I think what he was trying. Okay, that can explain the clone, but I feel like with him or whatever, what fucking movie was it? God, I can't remember. But it's like, oh yeah, the
I know what
bullet's
movie
only
it was.
like
It was
part.
Les Mis.
No, it's like the bullet only got like part way in, so they had to shoot the bullet with another bullet to force the bullet the rest of the way in. That's what he's going to do. He's like, I'm thinking of killing myself with that bullet, but it needs to be done in one specific way.
yeah, but it still wouldn't kill him. It would just reset his memory unless his healing is just that bad at
Well,
this
I mean,
point
if
that
you
he
see
would
it in
not.
this movie, he had to sleep for 4 days, and it didn't even heal the shit on his abs.
So maybe,
Yeah,
but all I'm saying is that bullet should not have killed the clone. It should have been like at
Yeah.
least blown the chunk of his head off. It should not have done that
Right.
based on the other stuff because he still had adamantium bones. So it's like that just didn't make sense. But so at the end of Deadpool 2, to me, like looking back at it, it would have made more sense if Deadpool was like, okay, time to bring you back. He looks at the grave. He's like, dude, you're too far gone. I can't do anything with you. And then he looks to the side, and it's the clone, and he's just like, "Urgh." He's like, I can work with you. And then he's trying to teach Logan how to be Logan again.
Oh,
that would be
that
great.
does sound funny.
That would be great.
And I mean, what's it called? They are getting Hugh Jackman for Deadpool 3, which is intriguing.
yeah.
I
we'll
didn't know
see.
that they were like doing Les Mis inside of Deadpool 3.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
No, dude, the announcement
He's
trailer.
gonna sing the entire time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hugh
they-
Jackman
they,
was
like-
in that movie, right? Like I'm not like
Yeah.
No,
I'm
wait,
not
no,
having
you're
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yeah.
like a Professor X moment.
No,
Am
no,
I?
no.
Okay.
No, dude, the announcement trailer was like literally Ryan Reynolds hanging out inside Hugh Jackman's living room. Just like on a couch, like, yeah, Deadpool 3, it's sorry guys, it's stillborn. We got no ideas. We don't know if it's gonna happen. The writer's room just fucking dead. Nothing really.
He's been worrying
then
too
Hugh-
much about Mint Mobile
Which he sold.
for
He did.
a
What?
lot of money.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
I
a
didn't know
lot
that.
of
Good
money.
for him.
But yeah, no, he like he's in the house. Hugh Jackman like walks by, and then he's like, "But we did have this one idea." Hugh Jackman like starts to walk by again, and he's just like, "Hey man, you want to be in Deadpool 3?" He's like, "Yeah, sure, Ryan." And then
That was it.
that was yeah.
Then they
Yeah.
had another one where they were basically like,
It was a Mint Mobile commercial before there were Mint Mobile commercials.
Yeah.
and then where they were basically begging Kevin, like, "Hey, please give us the funding for this movie, bro. Thank you." And that was the second one.
Wasn't there one where they were talking about what the movie would be, but then it's like you can't hear what they're actually saying?
Yeah. I think that might have been the same
Oh,
one.
I think that was like after that one because that was with Hugh Jackman, I think.
Yeah.
And they're both like giving the plot, but it's just censored the whole time
Yeah.
or whatever.
All right. Are we good? Are we getting out of this episode?
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about a trailer for another movie rather than
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about
we're getting
that
out
we're
of
more
this one.
excited
Okay, hold on, time out. So first of all, I promised the crew that I would be a little bit more creative with my attempts on trying to get Dove Cameron onto the show. Didn't happen this week because this movie kind of just sapped me of all of my energy. So once again, Dove Cameron, the invitation is being extended. Please come onto this podcast. We would love to have you on here. I am not sure what movie we would be watching if you were to come on here, but it would not be this one again.
Well, it's not going to be any movie we watched already.
No.
Except for Boondock Saints.
I would sit down and do a scene-by-scene breakdown of
Oh,
her
Cloud
emotions throughout Cloud
Yeah.
9. I think that would be incredible.
Oh, so you're just going to use her like the Shia LaBeouf, like watching his own movies thing?
Yeah.
And just be asking her the whole time?
Yeah, it's just like, how much did they pay you to say that line? Because I can't imagine that, like, that was easy for you.
I feel like this was the most iconic, oh man, that's ever been done on film.
Yeah, it's like, what do you think? Do you think that this, how do you think that this stands up to all the other oh mans in cinema history? Okay, ratings. Harry, since you are the newest guest on this podcast, go ahead. What's up?
Oh, so rating for the movie?
Yeah.
I mean, so the
Talk into the
writing's-
microphone, please.
Yeah, there we go. So the writing I thought again was pretty okay in the first 30 45 minutes. Action is okay. A lot of inconsistencies from the other movies. I'd say maybe like a 7, maybe 6, somewhere around there. But I'm a little bit harsher now.
He
with having
does
seen it.
not rate very many movies
No.
if he thinks a 7 is harsh. Vasilios, go ahead, bud.
Yeah. So I'm giving this one a 5 and then bumping Boondock Saints.
You can't just no, fuck
No.
off. You
I
don't
have
get to
to.
talk about Boondock Saints on this episode. We'll do that in the post pod. Okay, it's a 5. Okay, got it. Jesse, go.
6.
6.
Yeah.
Okay, so I started the day with this movie sitting at like a 5.5 bings out of 10 bongs. And as this conversation went on, I am more drained. So we are bumping it down to a 4.5 out of 10, 4.5 bings out of 10 bongs.
Yep.
All right.
Okay, so next month,
I'm out of movies. I am sad. It's been, what a rush.
yeah,
this whole
okay.
time.
So to be completely fair to you, you did a pretty good job this month.
Yeah.
I don't think that you actually picked
And
any.
Nikhil left.
There weren't very many clunkers, honestly. Like this
None
movie,
that were my fault.
Yeah, yeah. But that was a fun episode.
It was.
Um,
It was.
But next month is
Shout outs to all the guests that we've had this
Yeah,
month. This
we're-
has been a cool month. It
we're-
wasn't even my idea for my month.
we're
But-
gonna have a lot more guests coming on just because a lot of traveling is gonna be happening for some of the crew here. But this has been a fun experience. I hope that all of you guys had fun too being on the podcast.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, so the month of July contains the most patriotic day in U.S. history. It is July 4th. So the theme of July is the 4th or independence, meaning it could be the 4th movie in a franchise. It could be the 4th movie a director directed, or just something about liberation and independence. So for my movie, for the first movie of July, which is going to be on the week of July 4th, I am picking a movie about the greatest empire that has ever existed in the world, China. We are going to be watching the 2002 incredible movie by Zhang Yimou, Hero, starring Jet Li.
I
Good
have
choice.
no idea what to expect.
It is going
what
to
I'm
be
currently expecting is Shaolin Soccer. I hope it will not disappoint.
So before I
It's
sign
that
off,
or Ip Man, and I don't want to be racist.
yeah,
so.
signing. Before I sign off, just shout outs to President Xi, you the real homie. When you're ready, I will give you all of the names. Bye.